Dolts turn into people, right? Dolts turn into people. Okay, now let me just explain what I mean by dolts turn into people, right? Now, like any other state, happiness, joy, sadness, depression, dolt is also a state of being, right? And the state of being that you're dwelling in, for the most part, it will determine the events, and the people and things that will take part in your world, right? Now, let me just give you an example by dope turning into people, right? By dopes turning into people. Let's say you set the intention for a new home, right? You have your eyes on this new home, this new house that you really want to purchase, right? You desire it, right? This is your dream home, okay? And you know, every day you're saying your affirmations, you're envisioning it, you're speaking it into existence, you're writing about it. But your most dominant state of being now is doubt, right? Even though you're doing affirmations and stuff like that, your most dominant state is doubt. Like you don't believe that you can actually have this home. You're worrying too much. If somebody else is gonna come and get this home, but your most dominant state being of doubt, what is gonna happen? Someone else knows is gonna come and get this home, right? Because your most dominant state now is doubt. Like you don't believe that you can actually have the home. You don't believe that the home is already yours. You're not walking in the assumption that the home is already yours, right? So by your dominant state being of doubt, someone else now is gonna come and have that home. That's what I mean by doubts turn into people, right? And just like any other state of being, happiness, sadness, depression, right? It will determine the events, as I said before, the events and the people, right? And the things that take place in your world, that takes part in your world, right? Just by the state of being that you are in, right? Now another example, I don't know if you all ever experienced this, but when you were going to school in class, right? The teacher probably asked you all a question in class, right? And you know the answer to this question, or you think that that is the answer, right? And deep down inside, you know that this is the answer, right? And the teacher asked the question, but you refuse to raise your hand and give the answer. Maybe because you might be shy, or right, or again, you're doubting yourself. You're doubting yourself that that is not the answer, right? Even though it is the answer, but you're doubting that that is the answer. Someone else now raises their hand and gives the same answer that you have, right? That you're doubting about. And the teacher says, well, yes, you're correct. And you say, shit, that is exactly what I was thinking. This that is the answer that they had. They should have said it, right? No, that doubt that you have, right? The doubt that you had, it turned into a person. Well, that person um ended up getting the answer correct from the teacher, right? Because of your doubts, right? Your doubts um cause you, you know, to be laid back, right? And to miss out on actually giving the correct answer, right? So that's what I mean by doubts turn into people, right? So just be careful, with your most dominant state of being. And you're going to know your most dominant state of being. Like right now, you can sit back and reflect, right? For the past week, the past 2 weeks, what was your most dominant state? How was you feeling for the most part? Were you feeling at peace? You know? Were you feeling happy? Were you feeling depressed? Were you feeling anger? Right? I mean, you're going to know. Just take some time to reflect, right? Your human body is the ark, right? That's what the Bible was speaking about when they were talking about Noah and the ark. Your body is the ark, and the ark is made of 3 decks. First deck, the second deck, and the third deck, right? Which is your mental, your spiritual, and your physical, right? Now, we all live in different places in the physical, right? Some of you may live in the United States of America, some of you may live in England, some of you may live in Barbados, some of you may live in St. Vincent, right? For the most part, we all live in different places, unless you're family and you're related and you live in the same home. But for the most part, we live in different places physically, mentally as well. We live in different places, because for the most part, it can be living in peace. You could be living in turmoil or depression. Another person could be living in anger for the most part, But spiritually, no, we all live in the same place spiritually, because there's only one supreme being, one God, one Lord, right? That we are all a part of. Well, I shouldn't really say a part, because a part kind of signifies separation, right? But we're all pushed out from that one supreme being, that one consciousness, God, the Lord, right? And we're all in the same place spiritually, which is the Garden of Eden, right? And the Garden of Eden is life. Your own breath, right? That's your spirit. And that's life. And that's where we all live spiritually, as one, as a collective. But mentally and physically, for the most part, we live in different places. Right? So where are you living? Where are you living mentally? Right now at this present moment. Or for the most part, what's your most dominant state of being? Is it peace? Is it depression? Is it anger? Is it happiness? Is it joy? Is it bliss? Only you can answer that. Right? So just remember, whatever state of being that is your most dominant state, right? The events and things, right, that are on that same frequency, on that same vibration, will be a part of your world. And you're going to know just by reflecting on how your days go, the people that you meet, the things that happen, the things that you encounter on a day-to-day basis, right? So that is what I mean by doubts turn into people, right? If you're having doubts about anything, it even goes with relationships. You might be doubting and think you're not deserving of this particular person, and then what happens? Somebody else gets that particular person, because you're not assuming the wish fulfilled. You're doubting. You're doubting more than you are assuming. And I'm not saying you're not going to have times where you're going to doubt. Yes, that is going to happen, but don't make it your most dominant state, right? Because then you're going to end up losing out. No, you can lose out temporarily or permanently. It's up to you. Because even if somebody else does get what you desire, it does not end there, because all things are possible through your wonderful human imagination, through Jesus Christ, through God. So even if somebody does end up getting what you desire, it doesn't mean that it has to end like that. You can still create, you can still co-create, right? You can still set the intention for that particular thing, and what is going to happen. Something is going to, the higher intelligence is going to rearrange things for you to get it, right? So it's up to you if you want to give up and quit, or if you want to keep going. Because let's say somebody does get the house because you're in doubt, right? You realize that and you decide, no, okay, you're going to fully walk in this assumption that the house is yours. What is going to happen? That person might have like a change of thought, like towards the home. They might get uncomfortable and say, man, they don't like this house anymore. They might want another home, or something is going to happen. But once you set your intentions, do it lovingly, do it out of love, right? And then what's going to happen now? They might end up moving out, and then you end up getting the home. Right? So just be aware of your most dominant states. Right? The state that you return to for the most part, that is where you live mentally. Right? That state that you return to for the most part, that is where you live mentally. So even if you have a little doubts, you might experience a little anger, a little sadness, right? But for the most part, in general, your state of being is peace and bliss. And that is where you live mentally. Alright? So that's what I mean by doubts turn into people. Right? When you're having doubts about certain things and the intentions that you set, and your most dominant state is doubts, somebody else is going to end up getting what you desire, right? And as I said before, it doesn't have to end there, right? You can always change states, because we're in and out of states. That's the beauty of it, you know. You can change what, if you don't like the state of being that you're in, you can change it. And you can change it by being aware. Alright? So with all that being said, I just hope this brief message was of help to you. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel as yet, feel free to subscribe. Feel free to click the notification bell as well. Feel free to like. Feel free to comment. Alright? I am Be Floss to God, sending you love, peace, joy, prosperity, and blessings to all you beautiful kings and queens out there, all you gods and goddesses, and all you beautiful people. Alright? And do have a blessed day. Okay? Peace.